Welcome back to Life in Bold. My name is Ben Hawes. I am your host. This is the end of year episode. We're doing a holiday extravaganza, and I have one of my favorite people in the world on the show today. We have Michelle Arno, or Marno for short. Of course, you can follow her at Studio Marno on all platforms, including Twitch, which we actually get into today in today's episode, which today's episode meant a lot to me. To be honest with you, it meant a lot to me because we do a year in review for my Spotify Wrapped of this podcast, Life in Bold. And we also get into our attitudes and feelings and relationships with goal setting. And we talk about like what we like about goal setting, what we think about goal setting and manifesting, and really how that relates to self-love and how that relates to your attitude toward yourself. It was such a good episode, and I'm so happy to be closing out 2022 with this episode with Marno. It just brought a lot of joy to my heart, and I really appreciate you being here to listen. So without further ado, I am gonna jump it over to Marno. We're gonna have a really good time talking about goal setting and really knowing who you are going into the brand new year. So with that, I wish you a happy holidays, a happy new year, and don't forget to live your life in bold. Let's go. Got it? All right, Marno, welcome back to Life in Bold. How are you feeling today?
Woo! I'm feeling great. I'm caffeinated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The tank is clean. The tank is clean. Starting off the gate with a Finding Nemo quote.
Exactly.
Woo!
Oh my gosh.
That's
Well, I was
bold.
just looking at our previous episodes, and did you know this is your 6th time being on Life in Bold /
That's
Side Hustle Divas?
That's incredible. I didn't know that until you just told me.
Well, last time would be your 5 times. I'm surprised I didn't give you a 5-timers jacket.
Where the heck is my jacket? I should be wearing it right now, but
Yeah.
instead,
You're wearing your Trixie. So we got our outfits on. We're wearing sweaters. It's the holiday special for Life in Bold. Looking good. So Trixie Mattel.
Cosmetics, give
Yeah.
me money.
Get sponsored by Trixie. Who is Trixie to you? Like, Trixie is your favorite drag queen, right? Like, but what else? Like, inspiration, what?
Inspiration. I mean, she is like the ultimate in taking an opportunity
Mhm,
and fucking being bold and
Mhm.
turning it into an empire.
mhm,
She is singer, songwriter, musician, obviously drag queen,
mhm.
runs a cosmetics line, has like unlimited merch, has not daily, weekly, sometimes bi-weekly, oh my god, I can't say words. Sometimes weekly, sometimes more than once a week, videos on YouTube,
Yeah.
like hardly misses a week, is constantly launching new products for any one of her brands. Also has a motel in Palm Springs now that she runs with her boyfriend. Like, she also co-owns a bar in Milwaukee. She doesn't stop, and
Yeah.
it's so inspiring and incredible. And I also just love the aesthetic. Like, let's just be real. Like, hello.
Yeah.
If
I
was
know,
gonna
it's so
get
good.
An ugly Christmas sweater, of course it's gonna be pink with a purple heart
I know.
and like cuteness, you know?
It's so good. Well, we do have some Life in Bold announcements to get through, because first of all, I really appreciate everybody for sticking with me through this Thanksgiving holiday, because to be honest with you, it's very important to me to stay consistent, and I do release new episodes every other Monday. And ever since June, I have been extremely consistent and sometimes even doing bonus episodes. With the Thanksgiving holiday, I actually extended my trip. I went home to San Francisco for Thanksgiving, and I stayed for an extra week, which hindered my ability to make a new episode because I do not have my wonderful studio set up at home with my parents. And so I just really appreciate everybody for sticking with me, being patient. This is the holiday special. We are doing the extravaganza today, and we're going to do a little bit of a year in review. A big announcement is that basically I split out on social media the Life in Bold pod content. So if you're interested in Life in Bold like content on social media, you want to be reminded when there's new episodes, you want to see the video content on things like Instagram and TikTok, then go follow at Life in Bold pod because it's a great little collection of all of our clips and it'll be really, really fun. I'll do a lot of stories there to really engage with the audience, you know? And then the other thing that we're doing is we are going to be starting doing every episode is going to be a video episode, and it's going to be available for free on YouTube. Not doing a Patreon, not doing any, anything like that. Just allowing it to be for free on YouTube. So you can go to Instagram and look up Life in Bold Pod, and it's there. We're doing great things, Marno.
I'm so excited.
You're doing Twitch. Tell us about your Twitch.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am a new Twitch viewer, like just within the past year. I have
Yeah.
some friends that watch artists and gamers and just people doing whatever, like just chit-chatting um over there, and it is incredible. Like I will sometimes just scroll through like what are people doing? And it's
Mhm.
like anything from partying on a beach like with just like their iPad streaming to gaming to cooking to full on like shows and productions. It's so cool. And of course, me being me, I'm like, I gotta be a part of it. I gotta taste this fun energy. And when you're in a stream that has some people like going off in the chat and everyone's interacting, it's so, so fun. And I like to make art. I like to play video games. And so far, I've been streaming playing Animal Crossing. I played an entire game called A Little to the Left just this week. I couldn't stop. I was like, I'm going to stream even though it's not part of my like schedule that I just announced because I literally just wanted to play the game, but I wanted
Bonus
to do it
episodes.
on Twitch. Yeah, bonus episodes. Um it is just a fun time. So
Mm.
it's if you want to check it out, Studio Marno, same as everything else on social media and my website. Ding. If you want to buy my art, but if you
Mhm.
just want to watch me make my art, Twitch is going to probably be the main place to see like in progress stuff. Eventually, maybe even like within the next week, I'm going to pull video from my Twitch, which you can watch the recorded episodes on demand, but I'm going to pull it and edit it to go onto YouTube. It'll be
Mhm.
like long
Oh,
form
cool.
because I really don't want to like edit that much.
Mhm.
But when you're on Twitch, you're usually on for at least an hour or so. And I've been doing some pretty long, like yesterday, I twitched almost all day. So,
And it's just so
wow.
like what I love about your Twitch, it is so authentic. Like it is so authentic.
Well,
It is
it's
also,
raw. There's no
yes.
editing. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's literally just me existing and
Mhm.
doing whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, and it's also just a great format for you because I feel like my favorite content of yours is when you make like a 40-minute life update video or whatever, and it's just you talking. And what I think is so bold about it is you have iterated, you've like found a version of a platform that works for you, and you're doing something that you just absolutely love, which I think is very bold. And that's what this podcast is all about. So what okay, so let's just dive into the year-end holiday extravaganza uh Jubilee.
Do, 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 do. Wait,
Yeah, what do you have?
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
even
play
know if
some
this is
music.
tuned. That's all you needed, you
Ding.
know?
Yeah,
Just let the
exactly. That
party
was
begin.
really good. Let the party begin. Okay, so what I want to start with, so I was like I mentioned, I was back in California for Thanksgiving and I stayed an extra week. And
And
last,
we saw each other in person.
oh my gosh, I how did I even forget to just bring that up? We had dinner.
Like maybe how many times have we if we count like when you came
Yeah.
to LA as like one time,
Yeah.
we have seen each other in person since like graduating
Yeah.
college. That time, this past time,
Mhm.
twice in New York.
Yeah,
Well,
I
a
think we
secret
it's
third
three.
time when
Yeah.
we like just ran into each other. So like
Yeah.
since graduating college, we have seen each other 5 times,
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
one was this past month or
Yeah, it
2
was
weeks
so
ago.
special. It was so special. We were talking about the podcast, talking about our dreams for merch, which we'll get into, at some point in our lives.
Talking about being gay
Yeah,
and
which was
everything
just
that comes with that.
yeah, the highs and the lows.
Mhm.
But I want to talk about my year in review, my Spotify Wrapped, because I didn't know that I was going to get a Spotify Wrapped for Life in Bold. And the thing to note is that I got the Spotify Wrapped, but if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you're not a part of this because Spotify, the website that I use to upload my podcast is owned by Spotify. So they're only giving me like Spotify information. I have no preference on where people listen. But if you are on Spotify listening this year in 2022, your data is collected in this, like not collected. I don't want to like act like
You're
I'm
being
collecting your data.
represented.
You're represented, exactly. So, okay. So would you believe? So you don't know these numbers yet. I haven't shared these numbers with you yet. So I created 620 minutes of content for Life in Bold.
No wonder it's so hard for me to keep up. Because if you count that and then
Yeah.
all of the other content that you make,
Yeah, I know. It's a lot. I bet if you took the content that I've made and converted the time into like feet or inches, it could like reach back to the moon and back a few times. You know what I
totally,
mean? My
100%.
top episode from this year was with Carolyn Moore, who's the career coach, who talked about like authenticity and clarity. And that was a
Nice.
really good episode. That one had like 65 views or
Wow, did
listens.
she like really promo on her
I
end
think
and
she
like bring the
did.
people in? I love
Yeah,
that.
I think she did. So if you're ever a guest on Life in Bold, you got to make sure you send that out. The second episode was with Coco from Bob's Dance Shop, which I
That's
was,
what I would expect to be like the
yeah,
top one.
that one was really fun to record because Bob's Dance Shop is just such an authentic brand and like group of people. And then
Mhm.
number three, guess what number three was? You.
Uh, me?
You were my
Who's
number
tuning in
three
for
top
little
listened.
old
Yeah,
me?
it's like you
Which
are just
episode?
behind Bob's Dance Shop. It was the one where we did monetizing creative passions,
I
which was
mean,
yeah,
that is that what that was the title?
yeah, that was something that was in the title. Yeah,
That's a good title. I mean, like anyone who has a creative passion,
yeah,
like they'd
wants to
probably want to
monetize.
listen.
Yeah,
Although, am I doing it successfully right now?
I know. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. I was in the. This is funny. This one makes me laugh. So I was in the top 5% of podcasts shared globally. Top 5%. But the thing about that is like, if you think about how many podcasts there are, like, and how many just don't go anywhere and how many nobody is listening to.
Okay, how many exist and no longer even upload
Yeah.
anymore? Like mine are probably in my plural podcasts that I've
Yeah.
had are totally being included in that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of like weird data. Like,
Yeah.
and also is it counting every time like we share our own?
That's a
Because
good point.
like
That's a
um
good point. I'm 5 stars, which I expect nothing less. 5 star
love that.
reviews float my boat. Okay. Like I love a good 5 star review. So if you're listening, you gotta go leave a 5 star review on Apple or on Spotify. And then guess what? This is the one that means the most to me. I am the number one podcast for 17 people. Like 17
That's
people,
incredible.
I am their number one podcast.
Wow.
So I just love that. Like there are 17 people out there who are either only listening to my podcast or they're listening to my podcast the most, which just means a lot because that number, like I don't want to be all about followers and like, oh, I have this many followers. But this podcast to me is a way to expand my impact into the world. And so that number 17, like I would love for next year for that to be like 170 and then the year after that to be like 1700, like just
Mhm.
really like grow it because the more people that can listen to my podcast, the more impact that I can feel like I'm having and the more messages I feel like I just for the listeners out there, I just knocked my microphone. I didn't just randomly make a noise. But it just feels really good that like people are listening,
Yeah.
that it's really good. And that kind of brings me to what I really want to talk about today, which is really around this idea of like the new year. Because for me, I love Thanksgiving, I love Christmas, but for me, like I'm a big New Year's person, and I totally like have evolved in how I feel about goal setting. So I want to talk about goal setting, and I also really want to talk about the idea of being bold and standing boldly in who you are as a person as you enter a new year. So are you ready to like just dive in and like have a deep discussion about this?
Yeah, I'm ready to be candid and
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. So I would say for me, when I was like, I would say between the ages of 17 to 27, I would set all these goals that were like um very not advanced. Like I feel like now I'm kind of an advanced goal setter. And I feel like back then I was just kind of like either they were superficial or they were unrealistic or they were not things that actually aligned with what I wanted to do. Or they were just like can we just say it? Like never set a goal on New Year's Eve to lose a certain amount of weight. You know what I mean?
How about having that just be
Never.
something that you keep in mind? Because, like, weight, the
Yeah.
number literally means
Hmm.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't factor in every single aspect of your life and body,
Hmm.
which, like, everyone is so individual and unique. It's like, just don't have that be a goal.
I feel like for so long I would be like, lose 20 pounds or whatever, or like go to the gym 5 times a week. Like all of those goals are not going to be in my 2023 plan. Like I think what I've evolved to is like being able to focus on like initiatives and focuses and just kind of being able to just generally check off a box like am I doing this, am I doing that, because I think like I have become somebody at age 30 who like the more I go to the gym or the more I'm like on top of my habits, the more I do feel like good about how I feel in my body, not because of my weight, but just because of like the energy that's floating around my body.
Hmm.
And so I don't want to say like go to the gym 5 times. Like that's just not a sustainable goal. It's not even a good goal. It's not a quality goal. So I just for me, like I just want to like start off by saying like on Life and Bold, we're not talking about like those kinds of goals, like weight loss goal. Like it's just like not relevant to what I'm talking about on this episode today. What I'm talking about is like as you enter a new year, and it doesn't have to be a new year, it could be your birthday, it could be a new era of your life. But like I really believe in going in knowing who you are as a person and really being able to check off like yes this is what I want to do, no this is what I don't want to do, and just being true to who you are. And I think that if you have that compass and you know what direction you want to take, then the goals are not as relevant. It's more of like who you are and how you're showing up in the world.
Because if you have all of that in your mind,
Hmm.
then you're just automatically going to be making choices that support who you want to be
Hmm.
and what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
totally
would you
agree.
say you're like a New Year's resolution person, or have you been before and now you're not? Or what is your relationship to like goals in general? And then what is your relationship to like New Year's specific resolutions?
I think I had a similar kind of journey as you have with this, where when I didn't love myself as much, let's
Mm,
just be,
yeah.
let's just say that,
Hmm.
when I've been harder on myself in the past, I definitely made goals or
Mm,
resolutions that I was just setting myself up for failure because
yeah.
I wasn't being true and just realistic to who I am. But now that like losing weight isn't one of my number one priorities and I kind of understand who I am as a person better.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to set a goal like this year I'm going to have a boyfriend. Like those kinds of things where it's now I'm like, I don't think like
Yeah.
in terms of like all the potential people that I could be having a relationship with,
Yeah.
boyfriend is not, it's like hardly a possibility, you know?
Yeah.
um but yeah, so
Yeah.
I think the past few years I haven't been saying like I'm making resolutions, but I'll say yeah, I have some goals for this year that I'd like to achieve. And it usually has to do with like what I'm currently doing and how I can just like plus it up and make it
Mhm.
better.
Mhm.
So like I just started Twitch streaming, so I'm gonna probably make some goals for myself that align with, you know, things within Twitch. Like
Mhm.
literally you have like a threshold that you have to meet before you can roll ads. And if you can roll ads, you can make money. And
Yes.
I
Monetizing your creative
mean,
passions.
monetizing your creative passions. But
Yeah.
like, I really would love to be my own boss. I think that's something that I've realized as I'm like exploring, you know, different jobs that I've
Yeah.
had. And like, I don't know. So that is a
Yeah.
way that I can be my own boss on Twitch. Like, I could just be making money from having fun.
I just like adore that you brought goal setting to a place of self-love, because that's mind-blowing to me. I didn't think of it that way, that when I was setting goals like I want to lose a certain amount of weight, or I want to focus on my skincare so that I'll be like hotter basically, or like I would be like I remember one year in like 2010. No, it couldn't have been 2010. It couldn't have been 2013 or something. I went to San Francisco with a couple of friends, and I watched the fireworks, and we went to Buca de Beppo. Honestly, perfect New Year's Eve. And I made a goal like during the fireworks. I said, okay, next year I'm gonna have a New Year's kiss. Like,
Yeah, I literally have made that exact resolution before
and
where I
it's
was
like
like,
it's
oh, like I feel
yeah,
sad because I don't have anyone to kiss right now. So I'm gonna make a
yeah.
decision right
In
now.
what if that
Yeah.
like what if I fall in love with somebody, get married with them 6 weeks later, and on New Year's they're busy? Like, what if they fly to France that month? Like that's such a ridiculous goal. It's not
Yeah.
specific. It's not
Yeah.
like about what I really want, which is like, what would I really want in
To
that goal?
feel
Like,
good.
yeah, to
To
feel better about
feel
myself
good.
by
Yeah.
getting it
I
from
only
somebody
make goals
else.
that are gonna make me feel good.
Yeah. So I feel like, this year I've been actually really, really thinking about my goals, because I feel like I only want to set goals that I actually want to do and that are actually like,
Hmm.
achievable, and that can actually like allow me to basically live my life in bold and live the life that I've imagined. And I think that what I'm really understanding about myself, I had a therapy session um yesterday, 2 days ago, where I was talking to my therapist, and I had this, not a breakthrough, but like this moment where I realized that everything that I realized that through my therapy journey and through my ability to find more of myself and through my podcast on how I want to live my life in bold, I realized that everything that I do is aligned with this bigger mission in my life. And I realized that, like, I am somebody as a person, everything that I do and go around and bop around and do all my things, I am working to make people feel like their dreams are valid and worthy, and to inspire and motivate them to take action and make it happen. Everything I do is within that realm. So with my photo booth business, I just had an event last night, a big event, taking photos of people. What I'm doing with my photo booth business is I'm helping people feel important. That's how I feel about it. I'm helping them step
Hmm.
into a photo booth when there's a line and they might need to get out. But like I'm telling you, take up space. Be who you are in this moment. Shine, allow yourself to feel joy. And that means so much to me, more than just taking a photo of someone who's smiling. With my work in my career at doing learning and development and training, I am doing work that is allowing people to learn skills and like enjoy themselves and get focused on what they want to do next in their career and grow and enable them basically to make more money, or to find a community at work, or to move to another city with a job, or whatever they need to do. I'm enabling people to live the lives that they want to live. With my podcast, it's exactly the same thing, where I am working to help people feel like if they want to live their lives in bold, they should. And I'm sharing stories of people who are living boldly. And hopefully that will motivate people and inspire them and enable them and encourage them to basically live their own lives that way. And so I had this realization in therapy that like it's all aligned. And I am a person who, through my performances, in stand-up comedy, through my photo booth, through my work, through my podcast, through my new show on Instagram, the Ben Hawes Show, it's all serving this mission. And so I think with goals, it's got to do the same thing. So I realized that as I'm setting goals, it can't be about myself necessarily. It has to be about the enablement of myself to have greater impact on the world. That's what it feels like for 2023 for me. The enablement for me to have the maximum impact, the enablement for me to like be able to reach more people. That's why that like 17 people who I'm their number one podcast, it just feels really good. Anyway, that's my
Yeah.
spiel on my life's mission. Are you inspired?
I love it. I'm so inspired. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
because I feel very similarly,
Yeah.
like if I have one overall goal other than just like doing things that make me happy,
Hmm.
it's doing things that make other people happy.
Hmm.
I just want to like spread joy, and like I don't always feel really
Hmm.
great, but when I'm helping other people feel great, it does also help me feel great. And then that
Hmm.
just snowballs. It's like,
Hmm.
let's just all make each other feel better about who we truly are.
Yeah.
And that's really like I think the through line, like
Yeah.
in a lot of choices that I make and a lot of goals that I set for myself. And yeah, similarly, like the more people you have to share your art and your passion with, the better,
Hmm.
because like that's just how a lot of things are. Like when there's more people to experience it, it's just more fun. And
Hmm.
having fun makes people happy. Being happy makes you make better choices
Yeah.
and live a better life. And just it just there's no way that at anything that makes you feel good and makes other people feel good, that's not harming anyone,
Yeah.
could be bad,
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's all good.
Okay. I want to switch us over to, we talked about like our attitude towards goals, but like I want to talk about like when you have a goal or when you have an idea of what you want to achieve or where you want to be, like, can we talk about like how you make that happen? Like, are you like making a spreadsheet? Are you manifesting things? Are you able to just make it happen? Like what is your way of making it happen in life?
So I love that you brought up manifesting,
Hmm.
because I think I have like an interesting relationship with like the idea of manifesting. I think it's a little bit woo woo.
Hmm.
It's a little bit like, where's the science, and I'm like a big science gal.
Hmm.
But if it's not gonna hurt
Hmm.
and it's gonna put the idea in my mind like I can do something, then
Yeah.
let's do it,
Hmm.
like I literally have a tattoo. My first tattoo I ever got is "The mind is everything." And I just really love that phrase because in for me, it helps me remember I'm in control of my life. I'm in control, at the very least, if there are factors in my life that I cannot control.
Hmm.
I can control what's going on in my mind, and I can control everything that I do.
Hmm.
And so my mind is everything for me. Like I exist in my mind. So if I tell myself, I am going to do something to move my body and make my body feel good, whatever that means, if I'm doing yoga, if I'm just gonna like walk around outside, if I'm literally just gonna step outside and stretch and feel the sun on my skin, I'm gonna do one thing. So like for
Hmm.
me, instead of being like, I'm gonna exercise, because most of the time I don't want to do that.
Hmm.
But if it's just moving my body, like walking around is one of the best forms of exercise you can do. So
Yeah.
if I tell myself, I am going to move my body every day, I'm manifesting just movement in my
Hmm.
life, then that's going to help me like just feel better about doing it. So, or like, I am going to, like, I guess let's just bring it back to Twitch. I am
Yeah.
going to get enough followers on Twitch in this next year, like, so I can start making money.
Yeah.
But I can say that all I want, but if I don't do anything to support that, if I don't
Hmm.
make the moves and choices in my life every day, it's
Hmm.
not going to happen. So
Hmm.
then you break it down, and that's when I would probably make a spreadsheet. And it's like, okay, what do I, you know, ideally, how many followers would I have, by
Hmm.
this time, this time, this time? And every day that I've streamed, I've gained at least one follower, which
Really?
is wild. Like,
Yeah.
I'm up to 17 followers, and I've
Wow.
streamed one, two, like, I think maybe like 7, 8 times. I
Hmm.
don't know. You can go to my channel and see literally how many video on demand
Hmm.
videos there are. But I mean, that's the energy that I love about Twitch. It's like people are sending, it's called a raid, when like you end a stream and then you push your viewers to
Hmm.
another channel, and
Mm.
you, even if those people don't end up sticking around, some might. And
Hmm.
I've gained followers from other users rating me, and I don't even know those people. Like, it's just a really fun,
Yeah.
very like supportive community over there. Like, people that are friends are streaming at the same time, and there's no like, you're not watching my stream, you should be watching instead of streaming your thing. It's like
Hmm.
everyone's just fucking doing their thing, because
Yeah.
people stream like all day long. Anyway, I'm
I
going on a
love,
tangent.
yeah.
But like, I would break it down and be like, okay, if I gain one follower only every single stream, then if I stream 50 times, I'm gonna get 50 followers.
Hmm.
So, breaking it down like that, and then I have a schedule that I'm trying to stick to, and then my secret schedule in my head of like, okay, well, if I just feel like gaming, I would probably also stream this time.
Hmm.
I'm bringing back snack time, but in a live format. Sneak peek. Well, not
Yeah.
sneak peek. I already posted about it, but um, yeah. So
I think
goal
what I love,
setting, it just
I think,
depends, like, what I do
yeah. I think what I love about
individually.
what you're saying is that manifesting isn't, it's not just saying something. It's not just saying like, I'm going to throw a party this year. It's not just saying like I'm going to get a new job this year. It's not just saying like I'm going to make a certain amount of money and then expecting it to happen. Like you don't just put it into the universe. And like I feel like when I was younger, I used to think that that was what manifesting was being like, okay, like I'm going to do this and then it
Well, I think
happens.
like the word manifesting, it is
Yeah.
just the act of speaking things into
Hmm.
existence,
Yeah.
but the result of that,
Hmm.
you manifest, and because you manifested and you told yourself, I am doing this and I can
Hmm.
do this,
Yeah.
it just makes your brain
Hmm.
put the things in motion to actually do it. And then that's
Yeah.
when like you're manifesting what your goal is. But when you make a goal, you can't just say what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to
Well,
walk the walk. You can't just talk the
yeah,
talk.
to me, like manifesting is like having the attitude that it's going to happen
Mm-hmm.
and then taking the actions.
Yeah.
Like, and what I always love, I love when people say, like, you have to be the person who this would happen to. Like, you have to
Yep.
be the person who would get a certain number of followers on Twitch, which means if you want the followers, you have to be the person who's streaming, knowing that you get one follower every time you do it. Like, you have to be
Right.
streaming, you have to be active, you have
And
to
you
be
have to
doing it.
have everything set up
Hmm.
to support potential growth.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, I mean, I'm still working on, making my channel look the way I want it to.
Hmm.
I'm still working on making like graphics to really customize the experience that I'm presenting as like Studio Marno, the
Yeah.
brand.
Hmm. It's
Brand.
a brand. It's a brand.
But, I'm like, if I'm going to get this success, I need to maximize
Hmm.
what the success can be. So
Yeah.
that means on my channel, having my website posted, having all my
Hmm.
social media. My website needs to have up to date and, good
Current.
products that
Yeah.
people might want to buy. So if they're going to become a fan or a friend or whatever, and they
Hmm.
want to support me monetarily,
Hmm.
everything is set up so they have all of the information that they need to support me in whatever way they want to. Like there's so much more than just like I'm gonna start Twitch streaming than just literally doing that. Like they're and I am learning this from other artists and other Twitch streamers and YouTubers and people that I've been following forever that sell their art and you know, they're their own boss and they make a living from just creating what they love. So, you know, I'm just always like, what can I do to just make art as
I know.
my job?
I entered this year having read a book. Do you have your ukulele?
Yes, I do.
Near you? Okay. When I say I have a book recommendation, I want you to strum. Okay.
You just a C major chord is fine.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I started this year reading this book called Atomic Habits, and it's going to be the very first Life in Bold book recommendation. Yay!
Did you hear it?
Yes. So it's called Atomic Habits, and the author is someone that I found on Brene Brown's podcast, and he talks about habits, and it's really something that landed with me as a topic. It's really something that actually I really feel like it transformed the way I think about habits and the way that I think about getting things done and like all of that stuff. And the thing that he says about goals and systems, he says, we do not rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. And I think that's something that you're saying is that you have to have the systems in place in order to achieve your goals. If you have systems in place that make it easy for you to do the goal, that make it easy for you to achieve things, then you're going to be able to achieve the goal quicker. It doesn't matter how high your goal is, it matters how low your systems are. So like, I'll give you an example. I hate doing dishes, hate it. I hate it, and I don't have a dishwasher in my apartment. And so dishes will pile up.
I thought you got that little countertop.
Well, that's where we're going. That's where we're going with this story.
You don't have a built-in
I have not had a dishwasher in my apartment. And basically, dishes would pile up, and it was a big problem for me. Like, I would have to like, okay, I'm going to do dishes. And I'd be like, how am I going to do dishes? I'm going to listen to Office Ladies on Apple Podcasts. And I'm going to like, make sure I'm comfortable. I'm going to listen to music, turn on the TV. Like none of that worked. And then what I did was I found on TikTok, there was this like tabletop, like desktop countertop is what I'm saying, dishwasher. And I bought it. And now I have a dishwasher, and every time I, cook or anytime I do anything with food or plates, I just put it into my dishwasher. And then every few days I run the dishwasher. And that's an example of a system that I put in place where my goal was to always have clean dishes and to not have a sink full of dishes. And now because I have the system of the dishwasher, it has made it easier for me to achieve that goal. And then the other one that has been really impactful in my year is that there's a gym right next door to me that I never joined before. And I don't have goals around, like I was saying, I don't have goals around attending the gym like multiple times a week. But with having it right next door, it makes it easy so that I could just be in bed watching Marno's Twitch at 7:30 and I could be like, I'm going to go to the gym. And then it takes me like 60 seconds to get to the gym. So really, I really recommend for Life in Bold listeners, all of you boulders out there, to really think about not the goals that you're setting, but the systems that you have in place. And if you do want to read that book, it's called Atomic Habits. You can also listen to the podcast episode with Brene Brown. It was really, really good.
Yeah, I think to totally just jump off of that.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with being self-aware. Self-awareness can take you so far. And that really exhibits your self-awareness that you're like, I'm not going to physically wash my dishes. Like, that's just knowing who you are and then being like, okay, well, then that means I need a dishwasher. For me, like, I have a horrible memory. If I say tomorrow I want to do X, Y, and Z, chances are I'm only going to remember X, maybe Y. Z falling to the wayside. So like for me, a big system that I have in place that, to be honest, has fallen. The system itself was not sustained because I couldn't even get myself to enact the system. So like a lot of my plans have just been like floating around in the air. So like these past few weeks I've been at the very least writing a checklist for myself or just like a to-do list. If I get to all of them, cool, but like here are the things that I wish that I would do. Hopefully future me does.
Yeah.
So yeah, either putting things at the, I mean, bare minimum, putting things in my Google Calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like on my phone. But then if I break it down, write it down in my journal. I feel like I start every year with a planner and then I don't use it and I end up
Totally.
just writing in my journal. So I'm like, do you know what? We're just journal slash planner slash whatever else this becomes. But I have a really pretty one that I got like I think last month
Uh,
or
show it for the viewers on
ago.
YouTube.
Show it for the
Oh, that's
viewers.
pretty. Yeah.
Of
Notes.
course, you know, I think I got it at like TJ Maxx or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a lined notebook. But this has everything from my like drafting of my Twitch channel
Mm-hmm.
schedule to literal like things for
Mm-hmm.
work that I'm checklisting to like party planning
Mm-hmm.
to like I don't know, content to do. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
it has
everything.
everything. It's an
Yeah.
all-in-one stop. So I'm being self-aware and knowing I'm probably not going to keep up with a very structured planner.
Mm-hmm.
But I have something to write things down in, and I have little cat tabs. Look at how cute
Mm-hmm.
this
Oh my
is.
gosh. It's so
So I can
cute.
like know where each page is. Um but yeah, that's like a system that I have in place that I
Mm-hmm.
try to
Yeah.
sustain because it just I know myself and I know I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
forget and I know I'm going to get off task and I'm going to have executive dysfunction and be like literally sometimes I'll start my day and I'm like half done making my bed, halfway through making a cup of coffee, also brushing my teeth, picking out my outfit. And I'm like, girl, just do one thing and finish it and move on.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
sometimes
notebook
my
helps.
mornings start like that. But then the notebook, when I sit down at my computer and I open my notebook and I see what I need to do, I'm like, okay, ding ding dong.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to eat breakfast. Like
Yeah.
literally.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, Marno, we have had a very complete conversation about goal setting, authenticity, self-love, self-awareness, New Year's Eve. Um, I really appreciate you as a friend. At the end of the year, you and I
Likewise.
have had a really good year of friendship. We went to LA together.
Cheers
We
to
were in
that.
California together. Cheers with my big water bottle. Um,
Ooh, I should
you
choose
are
my water.
you are a really special person in my life. I really love having you in my life. And I really appreciate you being on this show 6 times. I think I have like 20. This is like my 25th episode, and you're six of them. So
All the
I
different
just,
ways you can put six on your hand.
yeah. Yeah. And I really appreciate you and I really appreciate the Life and Bold listeners. You all, all 17 of you. I really appreciate you listening to my show and believing in me to take us through this journey of figuring out how we all want to live more boldly. This has been such an amazing year for me creatively. I feel like I have achieved so much alignment in how I want to show up in the world and how I want to live my life in bold. I've been doing stand-up comedy, and that is just a lifelong dream of mine. And it's been really awesome to see myself allow myself to do it and to see that I'm worth living my dreams. And it just means a lot to me that you're all out there. This episode is on YouTube now, so you can see us live on video. You can see our notebooks, you can see our ukuleles, you can see our Red Bulls and our water bottles. And I really want this podcast to become what it really can become. So I appreciate you all being here. Please spread the word. If you're not following the podcast already, please hit that subscribe button. If you're not rating the podcast yet, make sure you rate it. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. This has been one of the best years of my life, 2022, truly. And Marno, I appreciate you being here. Tell the people where they can find you again.
Thank you so much for having me, Ben. I feel all of the same feelings towards you as my dear, 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 dear creative freaking hustling ass Ben. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Studio Marno. That includes my website, www.studiomarno.com, Twitch, Twitter, maybe not for much longer though, but it blows on itself.
Elon.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest. I've got it all, baby. I'm making that content. I'm sharing that art. I'm feeling the vibes, and they are usually good. But when they're bad, we gotta get through it together.
We feel it too.
Yeah. And stay tuned for snack time in the new year. Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right. Marno, you're the crowd favorite. Everybody loves Marno. You can follow this podcast at Life in Bold Pod on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow me at Ben Hawes Show. I've been doing a really cool daily show on my Instagram, which has been really fun, and my numbers have been going up. So you got to follow along with that. Ben Hawes Show on Instagram and TikTok. Again, I just truly, truly love everybody for being here. Try to be self-aware, try to love yourself and have some compassion as you enter the new year, because it's going to be a different year. And I believe in you. I love you. I think you can do it, and you got to manifest. With that, have a great holiday and a great new year. Bye.